Good day, merry internet denizens. Today I'm going to take a brief look at the closest thing you can get to Pokemon Online on Steam, a little game called Moonrise. On the surface, Moonrise looks very dissimilar from a game attempting to be Pokemon. However, there are some things that have been done to make the game quite different indeed to that of a standard Pokemon game, and forthwith I shall tell you of those differences, both splendid and terrible. Let's start with your Pokemon trainer, or Warden as they are called in Moonrise. The customization isn't a sniff at Reign of Kings or Elder Scrolls, but there's a fair amount of details to change. Fashionable hairdos, trendy new keks, and this summer's hottest beachwear. There's a particularly wider range of clothing available to you once you get into the bulk of the game, to let you turn your Warden into the beautiful, unique snowflake he deserves to be. Wardens, unlike their infantile dictator counterparts in Pokemon, get stuck into the battle with their Solari war slaves. We'll be stopping to discuss the role of Wardens in battle more closely right now! The battle system in Moonrise is pretty fast-paced. And by pretty fast-paced, I mean it's faster-paced than a boxing match between two seasoned boxing mantis shrimps. If you sit back, twiddling your thumbs, dreaming wistfully of the first time you caught a Pikachu on Pokemon Red or Blue, then you've already lost. Moonrise waits for no man. The active time battle is just what it says on the proverbial Ronseal tin. If your Warden or frontline Solari don't have a ring around the base of their feet, then they're just posing as cute, ugly or weird-looking punching bags. Each Solari can have up to 4 moves, each having a cooldown which has to charge at the start of battle and then again each time after it's used, and a ready-up/casting time. This casting time dictates how long it takes for your Solari or Warden to charge up their white ring, meaning that move is cocked, locked and loaded like a Smith & Wesson dueling pistol. The Solari under your iron-fisted command, your Warden and the enemy's respective troops then take it in turns to attack based on whose white ring was charged first. The Solari and their attacks have elements assigned to them. Water is strong against fire and stone, fire is strong against lightning and nature, etc, etc. The exception to this being the basic or normal creatures and attacks which are exempt from these rules. Attacks also have effects such as stun, dizzy, burning, root, toxic and many more, and these are what make the battle system quite complex and adds a definitive skill gap. In Moonrise there are 2 win conditions: maim and destroy the enemy Solari, or maim and destroy the enemy Warden. This adds yet another layer of strategy with the way that you'll have to set up your Warden and your Solari's skills and abilities. You could build a team that's focused on destroying the enemy's Warden as fast as possible, or a team that buffs your own Solari so they're very difficult to destroy. Let's take a step back from ferocious slave battles and look at the world environment for Moonrise. It's not quite as open world as I'd like, but it's basically like a big map with lots of location nodes that you can click onto and visit. Each location then has shops and various other buildings that you can interact with. Or if it's the wilderness, there's nodes and dungeons that you can click on and then you can go fight Solari. The dungeons add an extra slice of challenge to the proverbial battle system pie in that you must complete several battles in a row without healing, so every time you take damage it's carried over into your next engagement. This can be mitigated slightly. You can heal using potions in between rounds, but those potions cost gold, and you can only hold 4 of them. Each battle finds a piece of the boss door, and once the boss door is open you can fight the boss monster and obtain your sweet succulent prize. The free-to-play aspects of this game are present but not necessary. The green gems are often rewarded at the end of quest lines or dungeons, and they're not really required much at all. There's very little in the game that limits you from playing as much as you want, both in PvE and PvP. The Pokeballs aren't quite as circular in Moonrise and come in the form of a key which opens up into some kind of demonic dimensional prison, presumably summoned by Squidthulu himself. You can often find these keys in the wild or in dungeons, but a new key is gifted to you every 30 minutes, so 2 hours spent offline and you will already have 4 new dimensional prisons with which to enslave more wildlife. The PvP, the mano-a-mano matchmaking, can be played as much as you like, both ranked and unranked, and rewards are given at the end of every season for being the most baller monster commander. Arena, which can be played for free once a day, randomly supplies you with a kind of complement of maximum level Solarian abilities, which you can then configure and use to repeatedly smash your enemies until you lose 3 times. When you lose, you're given a treasure chest based on how many victories you achieved, and it's pretty much the same as Hearthstone. The ranked PvP follows in a similar vein, lending from Hearthstone, in that at the end of the season you're given a chest based on how well you did in that season. Very similar to Hearthstone, but I think that's a good thing, so thumbs up for that. So I hope you've enjoyed my little spotlight on Moonrise. I think once the PC client is given a UI overhaul to make it not so much look like an iOS game, then it could actually compete quite happily with the likes of Hearthstone, at least for my personal enjoyment anyway. To finish off this fancy soiree of innocent fantasy dogfighting, here's a few PvP battle highlights between me and Tommy. Good day! Dun, 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 dun.
I got my nice afro there.
Stone owl bastard. I choose you.
Couple. I'm going to choose Electro Cat and Stone other Tuskman. The kit Electro Cat, use shield, and you also use another type of shield.
Fire bastard. Attack.
Use your rubble shit. Yes, deflect. Use that again, Electro Cat.
Burning fire attack with the warden.
I'm going to use Tusky McStone to hit that dog or whatever the fuck it is.
Couple, throw some more shit at them. More flame attacks. More flame attacks. No, Emberjaw!
Good job, Stone Dog.
So you're using the tactic that is unbeatable I told you about.
What do you mean?
With that gravel one where you just repeat that exact same one is that what that guy has. He's unbeatable. I can't beat him.
Good.
You have to have Dispel and then my only fucking Solari that's got Dispel won't come out.
Look, I don't make the rules. I just play by the hand dealt. The Solari hand that's dealt. So what you're saying is Stone Tusk Bastard is particularly strong.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. You can't.
Hey, I'm gonna block.
I'm forbidden from like, getting my last Solari out. It's broken.
What is the last one?
It's the fucking little jellyfish bastard. Oh no, not fire.
Oh, he's down.
Oh, well, that's GG.
So the last one.
No,
There he is!
now it comes out!
Oh, Enrage.
So I can use Neutralise on that dog.
Quick Fire Claw. Zap him with a Hadouken.
Use a bruising charge attack.
This guy's got Dispel on him, so I couldn't use anything.
What? Why did it attack him? I selected your fucking dog.